All right, so some random fellow YouTuber out there is definitely gonna need to say or tell you people that get like a VR headset what to do and not to do. Now, I'm gonna be taking their job because they are horrible, bro. So things you should do and things you should not do when playing on your VR headset, and also some advices. All right, I'm just gonna say this once. I'm gonna say it now. Remember your email and password you set for your VR headset. Cause every 5 months they're gonna ask you to redeem this code to make sure if the headset is to its rightful owner, and if it's not. Now, me and my mom, we went through hell to get my VR back, cause I didn't remember the password or email, cause they just set a random email for me. So just set your parents' email or something, or yours, and you better remember it, cause if you don't, you're cooked. You're not getting your headset back. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is that when you put on your headset, you're going to need to make your boundary. Now, make your boundary nothing close to glass or a table. Alright? That's advice, and that's something you should be not doing. Yeah. And also a wall, because I've hit my controllers on the wall so many times. Sometimes I think I lost my fingers. So please do not make your boundary near a wall. Maybe do it, most of the time do it, but just for your own safety, make a tiny boundary or something you can move in. So I guess that's another advice. Another thing not to do on VR is being negative, because that can really affect people and your mental health. And what I mean by other people, I mean you probably might take your anger out on them, which is really horrible, and it's probably mostly just little kids, so please don't. But if you take it on for me, I basically do the same thing. Another thing you should be doing is spreading love, not that type of love. You should be being positive. You just spread that, for then everybody can be happy and everything. It can also help people's mental health. Just stay positive. It can really help the community. It could probably also help your social skills. And that's it. Here's another thing to do, which is getting games. Getting games can be a fun way to talk to people, or another way to have fun. And if you're wondering, how do I get games on VR? Well, you're going to have to look at the bar at the bottom, I believe, on your screen, or this button I am showing up here. Now, once you've done that, you're going to want to look for this app. After you find that app, you can now look for games. Yes, this is the part where you can look and play games. And I'll be recommending some games, starting with this list I have right here. Alright, so, Teach, I'm going to need you to skip towards this time right here, if you don't want to see this. Anyways, I'm going to speed run this. Alright, so Gorn 2 basically is kind of good, but also it just doesn't have that feeling of the original game, you know? And VR chat, that game I do not recommend. Social skills, it does help. The thing is that there's a lot of people that are very inappropriate in that game, and there's a lot of toxicity. So do not get that game unless you're one of those people. Guerrilla Royale is kind of a great game. Is that sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does work. So that's why it's in that tier. Thrill of the Fight 2 is a good way to help your physical health and a way to practice boxing. Yeah. Animal Company is one of the games I play the most, and it kind of helps with social skills sometimes. But there's also a little bit of toxicity in that game. Oh, I forgot to also say there's a little bit of toxicity in Thrill of the Fight, because it's also an online game. There can also be also positivity. Anyways, Gorn. Gorn is a game to let your anger out. A way to let it out. I I say it's a great game. It's just like Gorn 2, but the thing is, it's more original and it's like it's in some of our childhoods. By the way, Gorn is a violent game. Just like our next one, Path of the Warrior. Path of the Warrior is a fighting game, just like Thrill of the Fight, but it's more for kids. And it's somewhat like Gorn, but like less gory. Actually, no, not gory at all. Population 1 is basically a first shooter game. It's a little toxic, but there's not that many people to talk to in that game because it's a little dead. Blade, Sorcery, and Nomad is also like one of those gory games, Gorn. Basically, that's what it is. But it's also like more realistic. And you've probably seen it before, like Gorn. Kapu Company is a game that's not good, but also good sometimes if you're playing with people. But it's also hard to find people to play with. And there's a tiny bit of toxicity. But mostly positive. And there's like no teamwork in that game. You have to use teamwork, by the way. Gun Raiders is a first-person shooter game, just like Population 1, but its community is the exact opposite of Population 1. Like, I never expected a first-shooter game and its community to be so positive. And there's a tiny bit of toxicity. So that's why it's in that tier. Big Scary. Big Scary is a long-forgotten dead game. It was like very popular back in the day. Its community is somewhat toxic. It's just like Animal Companies, but like not as much toxicity. By the way, you can already tell from the title of the game, Big Scary. It's a scary game and its genre is horror. This game is fun. Well, it used to be fun, but the owner wouldn't release as many updates. And it would take forever and forever. Our final one is Gorilla Tag. Gorilla Tag is a very old game, a fossilized game. It's so ancient. I think this game was created 200 years ago. This game used to be the original version of all these games like Animal Company, Big Scary, Kapu Company, including Lethal Ape and more. And by the way, if you ever get a VR headset and this is not your first game to play, don't call me twin, because I don't even know who you are or what you are if this wasn't your first game. By the way, here's another fact about this game, a scary fact actually. There used to be ghosts in this game, a lot. There was actually 5 main ones, and we do not talk about those because they were scary. The first time I got that game, I actually met one of them. God, that traumatized me. Anyways, thank you. That was the speed run. Okay, so once you get one of those games I recommended, if you don't know how to move in one of those games, you're gonna have to use either the thumbstick or you're gonna have to use your arms for this, because there is a bunch of games out there. Like I listed back in the games I recommended, you have to use your arms. So there's like a bunch of arm movement in those games. Here's an example up here on screen. I may look goofy, but like not that goofy enough. By the way, here we can also see how the boundary helps me keep my arms in the boundary. That's how it keeps you safe. So yeah, there you go. And here's another thing I should have said at the start. Another advice, make sure you have enough room. Move things around like the table, or move away from a wall or something. Or you need like a place where you have space, like a living room or maybe a room. Here's another advice or tip. If you're ever about to go to a party and you decide to use your VR headset, don't do that. Trust me. Because you're going to be smelling like must, and you're going to be dirty. You're going to have to take it in the shower again. Trust me. Oh, and by the way, you're going to get sweaty on the VR headset. So, like, be aware. And think what you're about to do, unlike me, bro. And also, for those people that have also been thinking, can you take your VR headset, like, outside? Yes and no. Okay, so the 2 reasons I say no is because the sun can damage the lens and can also damage your head. Basically, it damages your headset. And number 2, you're going to need to find internet, and you probably might not be able to. So you're going to have to play those single-player games. That's also why I said yes. So, by the way, it's also better to play with friends or family. Mostly friends, because it's funny. And if you don't have any friends, then I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Time! Oh, Bruce!